Well, good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening, spiritual global entrepreneurs. Welcome to the EGU podcast for awakening and emerging entrepreneurs. I'm Michelle Reinhardt, creator of Entrepreneurs Globally Unite, collecting inspiring teachers from all over the globe to bring you weekly knowledge on mindset, energy, business, and all things spiritual. Today, you're going to learn about emotional mastery from a great master, Bodo Frost. Bodo, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and hello to everybody across the globe.
Thank you for joining us. Today, guys and girls, we're going to be recognizing resistance and developing resilience. And you will want to hang around until the end because we've got something super special for you. The guest I have today is quite a superstar. He's a change leader and a coach who helps businesses and people to become the best they can be. He teaches emotional mastery to help people understand their feelings and elevating them towards their highest values. He grew up in Germany and was exposed to a volatile childhood. He found solitude in playing music and has been an apprentice metal worker, studied computer science and played in a band touring around Europe for 13 years. And he's now migrated to Perth. So welcome, fellow Aussie. He's in Western Australia, which fulfilled a childhood dream for Bodo. Learning the Aussie way was quite a revelation. He is a change maker and a team leader of various cultures and backgrounds and has a successful coaching business. He believes that business and life is a mere portfolio of many projects. And whilst executing projects, people will encounter all sorts of emotions that may or may not affect the result of interactions adversely. Looking back at his life, especially after a massive health scare, he is now putting his energy into coaching and bringing emotions of people appropriately aligned to drive better outcomes in life and business with serious fun. Wow.
Sounds good.
How did you feel sitting there listening to that? That's a lot of accomplishments and achievements. Congratulations so far.
Oh, thank you very much. It has been an interesting life and will be more interesting to come. Definitely. It had a lot of ups and downs. Listening to that one, reflecting on it, it gives you a sense of achievement. It brings back some memories, some fond memories. The volatile childhood, of course, when you think about that, it brings a bit of kind of negative emotions, but it's the past, it's history. You deal with it because you've learned from it.
Yeah, toughens us up a bit, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't make us harder. Yeah? There was this one song, wasn't it?
Well, I always say, Bodo, we wouldn't be very good coaches if we didn't have the life experiences behind us.
Absolutely. You need to have certain experiences before you can teach it. That is what I've experienced, because I was reading a lot out of books in the last 20, 30 years. And it's like, oh yeah, cool, this and that. But never could really relate to things until I've experienced it.
I agree. And then you can read something 10, 15 years later and it's like, oh my God, that's what that is. Now I get it. And that's pretty cool too.
The meaning is completely different all of a sudden.
It is, isn't it?
Gives you more value.
Yeah, that's for sure. So Bodo, emotional mastery. What we're going to tackle today is how people are getting stuck.
Oh, it's quite simple. I mean, they're not getting it wrong. They're just not quite right. There's a few items where people start getting stuck. First of all, they have no goals or wrong goals. They just live through the day and then don't accomplish anything. They don't know where they're going, and this doesn't satisfy them. They get distracted from doing stuff. Yeah, that's through my life with the project management teams that I've led. There are somehow people that don't know what they're doing. Yeah, they don't plan. They get distracted. They just do some stuff around that is completely irrelevant. Yeah? Then when they get into certain situations where, hey, when are you going to finish this task and whatever it is, they get emotionally really, really aggravated. They get frustrated. They just give up. Yeah, too early. They blame themselves if they are quite mature, or they blame others. Oh, because of this, I couldn't do it. Because of them, they didn't give me that, and yeah, I couldn't do anything. So they avoid taking action and responsibility for themselves. Yeah, and then cause bigger issues by just not performing. Yeah? And it is one thing that my grandmother taught me in early years, yeah, about blaming. If you point the pointer finger, I do this one. If you point the pointer finger to someone, just think about there's 3 fingers pointing back at you.
Yeah, my dad used to say the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad used to say that, and my mum used to say, "Don't point, you'll kill a fairy." So, I mean, it's clearly I had the best of both worlds in my parents. But you mentioned the word blame. You mentioned responsibility or lack thereof, and also lack of direction. And that is so big that so many people are walking through life with no idea where they're going. What will they mark as success? How will they know when they're there?
Correct. It's
big.
Amazing. I call it amazing, even though it is quite daunting on certain people. It's amazing how many people I've seen so far in the last 30, 40 years that are just walking through life without any idea where they're going. And I must say, when I left school, I didn't know what to do either. So I was there too.
Yeah, I think we've all had times where we're there, and we've all had moments of our lives where we've questioned that, and they are all pivotal moments as well. But
it's the leadership that's missing then. It's the leadership from parents and or the environment that they're in. Yeah, that's missing. And this is something I've experienced so many times.
And interesting enough, Bodo, I find too, I spend a lot of time almost blaming my parents for not teaching me certain things about life, but I failed to acknowledge until later on that there were many other people that entered my life at various times as mentors that taught me things that I actually didn't credit to life teaching because they weren't my parents. So it's really worthwhile having a look around your broader family, your chosen family, and looking for the wisdom amongst them, because together, and this is all about, we're all in this together.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's no room for blame. There's no room for guilt or shame. Things just are as they are, and refocus and realign on what you do want.
Correct. Yeah, blaming others is like you basically distance yourself from your own emotions, from your own responsibilities. You are not yourself anymore. Yeah, the one that you should be. That's how I say it. Yeah, how I see it. Blaming others is denying the own responsibility, denying your own personality, denying that you are in control. You let others control you. You let others control your emotions as well, because if they get frustrated with you because you blame them, oh God, what hell did you create now?
Well, let's help people understand the receptors that we each have. The 3 types. I'll let you explain them, and folks, just sit into this and just recognize where you could be being triggered or where you may be able to grow through this message.
I mean, we were talking about emotions, and emotions for me are basically energy in motion. That's where the word comes from. Yeah, energy that our body receives through the receptors of our senses, and then our brain processes these energies. So we are constantly stimulated by a number of senses at the same time. So, for example, we see things and our brain interprets what our eyes see. This is the visual receptor. Now, depending on what we've learned in our life, so far we have an opinion of what we see. Yeah. That's the other thing is we hear things, and process is the same for the audio stimuli. It's some people hear things differently than others because of what they've learned so far. Yeah. A storm, a sound of a storm or a thunderstorm, yeah, when the clouds are just banging together, it's been interpreted differently by different people.
Absolutely.
I feared the thunderstorms because I had one experience, a bad experience with one lightning and the thunderstorm. So I was really scared. It's different now because I've learned how to deal with it.
Yes.
The next thing is, I mean, and out of the audio and visual receptors, there's the other ones, the kinesthetic receptors, that are summarized by basically it's a summary of our feelings, what we smell, how your body reacts to things, how we taste things. So if I take an example like a mobile phone, could be an Apple or an Android, whatever it is, doesn't matter. People see the type of phone, that's the visual part of it, and react to it. The reaction is, I don't like Apple, or I don't like Android, I don't like this, I don't like that, or you like it. Yeah. Then the phone rings with a certain song. Yeah, the ringtone has a song, whatever it is. Yeah, mine is Chariots of Fire because it inspires me. But other people have a different connotation to that song. They may like it or may not like it, and then their tummy starts cringing or whatever it is. Yeah, to certain things. This is our reaction, our interpretation of those stimuli that we get. Yeah. I get goosebumps when I listen to my ringtone. Different thing because I associate that Chariots of Fire differently to something that inspires me to do more.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites as well, I must admit. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, others associate a ringtone to holidays or a nice restaurant and so on. So everybody chooses their own way. So with regards to people, then, if we go back from the phone to people, we communicate on multiple levels. We see them, we hear their voice, we smell their cologne or perfume, we look at their attire, we feel good or bad. That's it. Some people can feel the vibes of others and react accordingly. Yeah, and this is our receptors, and then it's our interpretation. So you go to a person, you see a person, you either like them or not.
Yeah, it's funny how quickly you can make that assumption, isn't it?
We make a judgment call. Yeah. So, and it's basically our feelings and associations that our brain has will tell us then how to communicate with them, with that person, whether we like them or not.
I believe
our body language, it's the same then.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting to see. It goes to the brain, it's out of your receptors, your senses, get information, send it to the brain, and the brain compares it with what it has stored in our subconscious mind or conscious mind, and then goes back and it's like, oh yeah, you react bad to that person. Open up with love,
it's so true. Particularly if they look like one of your exes. Got no hope.
No, I've learned how to deal with that.
It's so funny. So our brain literally goes looking for a match. And if it hasn't got a match, well, it will find a match.
It will.
It will find a match, and that match will be either negative or positive or neutral. Yeah. Yes. But it will be based on our past experiences.
That's right. So in our past experiences, we create a map. We are, as people, somewhere in a certain territory, whether it's the office, whether it's a family, whether it's on holidays or wherever. That's the territory. We have an internal map of how we see and interpret things, how our brain compares it. Yeah.
Wow.
And then when something happens, all of a sudden we have to compare it with the map, and then we get frustrated because, I mean, you said if it's not in the map, there's a positive or negative reaction. If it's not in the map, some people get frustrated, get anxious.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's then where then the inaction comes. It's like, oh no, I'm not doing anything.
Because it's not familiar.
That's right. It's outside of the comfort zone. The comfort zone is the map that we have.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, that's cool. Because then as a healer, the mind and the body takes that to a whole nother level, and it internalizes the emotion.
That's right. That's right. And all of a sudden, if you are in a way negative receptive to, or if you approach your outside of comfort zone stimuli in a negative way, in the end you get sick because your body reacts in a negative way. Yeah, you get your stomach ulcers and whatever. Yeah, you will feel tired. You just and then accidents happen and whatever it is. Yeah. That's not a good thing.
No, it's not, and that takes us to our next point: emotional mastery.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, that led in beautifully without us even trying, didn't it?
Yes.
So what does emotional mastery mean to you, Bodo?
It's more for a person to be able to adjust your own map to the territory you are in, and basically to not judge a book by the cover. Yeah, to not judge a person when you see them straight away. Approach every situation with having a strong character, with openness, without judgment, with positivity, with love. Stay in control with your emotions, even though the other one may not realize that his or her words, for example, may affect you or offend you. I had a few situations with a number of managers that I had that they were just real holes. They didn't have the emotional intelligence to empower people, to just they were in a negative way. I reacted very, very in the first place very badly to that one, and yes, I had some stress related issues. Because he caused stress. But then what is stress? Stress is nothing else than our interpretation of things that we receive. So emotional mastery then basically means we go above and beyond that. We interpret things, we have an openness and say, okay, we understand where this other person comes from, what frame of mind he or she is in. And we deal with certain presuppositions that we put ourselves in, which is like, okay, the map that I have is not the territory. The territory is completely different.
Yes.
And everybody responds to their own maps.
Yeah, that's what makes it so tricky.
Yes, I know. Try to understand that map. Try to understand that map.
That's where your psychic abilities come in big time, hey?
Ideally, but you can. But in understanding the audiovisual kinesthetic receptors, you can read how people act and react with the body language. Whether they are lethargic, like, oh, okay, whatever, or it's like, oh yeah, here we go, whatever. Yeah. So emotional mastery comes together with understanding receptors, understanding the map, the mindset, the frame that people are in, and then respecting each person's model of the world, because everybody has a model of their own world.
Yeah, and even that can be different, even for members of the same family. That model will be different depending on the experiences that each person lived growing up. So it's vital to respect each model for the uniqueness that it presents as well.
Absolutely. And then be open to learn things and see the world as, okay, there's no failure, there's only feedback. The feedback is constructive. Don't put people down, because that is a negative emotion that you're creating. And my thesis is that everybody has the internal resources they need to succeed. We know how to deal with things, but we just don't do it because our map that we create skews it up in one way.
Yeah, it's yeah.
We add choices that we teach. You know, we don't take choices away. Everybody has choices. You know, but with what I was saying, everybody. I mean, the map is skewed up because we know what to do in the right way. Yeah, but people make the best choices available to them inside of their map. Now,
Of course, that's what they know to be true.
correct.
That's all they know.
Now, emotional mastery then is to widen that map, to open up that map, to say, look, these were the choices that you know now. Explore some new ones. Be open to that, and communicate with responses that we get. And my way of saying is, if you take a day 100% as 100%, it's 10% of what you make of the day, and 90% of how you take things. Because you've got so many receptors coming to you, or so many stimuli coming to you. The way you deal with your map, and then the brain tells you how to react. I've realized that kids and drunk people always tell the truth.
Yeah.
And at some parties I told a lot of truth.
Yeah, and a lot of other stuff too, I'm sure.
Oh yes.
So I love how simply you've made this, Bodo, and I love that it is. We do overcomplicate it, don't we? And how do they find their core essence? Because we all have one, aside from all the stories, all the lies, all the beliefs, all of the bullshit belief systems, I call them. Aside from all of that, how do people that are brave enough, because it takes a very brave person to be willing to go into their core, how do they find their core essence?
It is a journey. It is a journey to do that, and it took me a while to get there as well. You need to become emotionally stable.
Okay, yeah.
This is a coaching program where you start understanding the receptors, how the brain works, and then on the other hand, you as a person, you need to have a goal. You need to have something to look forward to thrive. Have a goal that is aligned, for example, to the business that you are in, or the life that you desire. You have wishes, you have dreams. Make an action plan to have it become a goal, and then follow through. And whenever an obstacle comes up, don't despair, don't get frustrated. Analyze it on a factual basis. Take the emotions out.
Yeah.
Take the emotions out, because an obstacle is there to test you and your skills to overcome it. And if you give up, you basically go nowhere. Yeah. Going to the core definitely is. I mean, I've done that one with Sinclair Changeworks.
Oh, yep.
David Sinclair is just a wonderful master coach. I've done my certification with him, and we went through the core. We did a number of sessions where I went through meditation, a bit of neuro-linguistic programming sessions with him, where we eliminated things in my past timeline, what my brain was still subconsciously working on.
It's triggering. Yeah.
Yeah. We just replaced that. And you can do that. It's quite simple and it's powerful. You replace something out of the past that holds you back with something that you want in the future. We've done this.
Change the story.
Change the story. And all of a sudden your emotions just go positive. That's one. There's a number of tools that you can apply to do that. Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, I have been faced with a number of obstacles, and as I said, the health scare that I had 3 weeks ago. Hey, I'm here. I'm positive. I'm having energy. I said my mind is full of energy. Yeah, this heart now has to come up with the power. Yeah, so it will get there.
It will. And just on David St. Clair is a dear friend of mine, and he is lined up to be a guest on this show.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so that'll be wonderful to hear from him.
Yes.
So would you care to share a few of your favourite tools to help our guests recognise resistance,
Yes,
as well as develop resilience?
yes, definitely. The first one is, I mean, before you can use any of the other tools, the first one is the self-awareness. You need to listen to your body. It's as simple as that. If it doesn't feel right, you're feeling some resistance inside of you. If you feel that your body tells your brain that something is not right, your body reacts completely different to things if you disregard it.
Yes.
I've seen that one with myself. I didn't listen to the signs. I just dismissed it. And what happened? Yeah, wonderful heart attack. Wake up call.
Yeah.
Yes. So listen to your body, but this is emotionally as well. When you feel offended by things, just take it inside. Don't react straight away. That's important. Don't react straight away. You may cause more problems.
That is so hard.
I know it is.
It at first, but then I remember learning from Dr. Stephen Covey the 3 seconds, the power of breathing.
Yes.
Just give yourself 3 seconds to respond as opposed to react.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah,
and that's important. And I haven't read the 3-second one, but that aligns with what I've learned. Yeah. In my younger years, I was just reacting straight away, and it's like, oh no, can't be, and woof, yeah.
we Aussies call that a loose cannon.
Yeah, it wasn't very loose, not really, but then people with more power, so my managers and all this, just came back, and it wasn't good for me. So I learned my lesson.
Yeah. So we don't react straight away.
So the second tool that comes out of that one is with the 3 seconds. Be the smiling assassin. I call it the smiling assassin because, okay, keep smiling. This other person has just offended you, but you know what? It's got a different value, mindset, and whatever it is. So try to understand. Tell your brain that you try to understand where this person is coming from, why you're saying that. But stay factual in whatever you do after that. Discuss things on a factual basis with the other person that you know that is wrong, and try to convince them on a factual basis, not to saying, you know what, you're a bloody damn prick or whatever it is, bullshit, and now you can't do this. No, have proper reasons, but smile and smile and smile. Now, you may want to find a way to comment to certain behaviors of this person, still smile, and in one way discuss with that. So and this is what I did with my last boss, which if there was a negative scale of emotional intelligence, he was right down the alley there. Very military style. What I say has to be done, and even though it was completely wrong and against all ethics. What I did then was I discussed stories, example stories with him, and put my situation into a third person.
Yeah, nice.
So if that happened to you, what would you say? Yeah, try to do it that way and still smile. And by this kind of storytelling and make him understand how to do it, you assassinate him and his emotion. Yeah? You get the facts right. You tell stories and say, for example, oh, what would you do if this happened to you? Oh, we'll do this and that. There you go. You know what? This is how I felt when you did that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't realize. Yeah, next time just watch it.
Yeah, there definitely are a lot of people out there that are very quick to try and pull us down.
Yes. I had many of them.
Yeah, and I have too in the past. I have found though, and this is quite possibly something for those that are listening that are sitting in there. I know that feeling jar, if you like, but they once we grow emotionally, our energy and our vibration shifts up, and those people tend to not even come in our sphere of influence.
That's right. Absolutely.
So you'd sort of move, and that's where it becomes a really interesting game.
Yes. I have a third one.
Go for it.
You had this, I get this feeling jar that reminded me of my swear jar. Because that boss was swearing a lot. And it's like, okay, I'll put a swear jar in every meeting that we had. And whenever he did a swear word, I said, gold coin donation.
Nice.
And in one way, it didn't work because he was, I'm the boss here. Yeah, okay, why not? So I had to change my approach a little bit. So this swear jar or bully jar, I always had that on my desk. I always brought it with me in meetings with him. And whenever he did something that offended me, I put virtual money in there. Mm-hmm. For every lesson that I've learned on how not to be a leader, on how not to treat people. And I can tell you, after half a year, I was a rich man. Virtually, unfortunately. But it's like, turn this negativity around into a positive learning for yourself. That's my swear jar.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so that's tool number 3.
Tool number 3. I'll just wrap those up for people because they're very powerful tools. So the first step in recognizing resistance and developing resilience is to become self-aware. Yes. Listen to your body. I love the tips there. If it doesn't feel right, if you're feeling some resistance, it's not right. If it doesn't feel light, it's not right. If it makes you feel heavy, you feel that pang in your gut, you feel that wave of sickness, it's just not right. Walk away. Yeah. The second, the smiling assassin. I love this. Just give yourself time. Step away from the situation a little bit. Keep smiling. And I love that you suggest to throw that back at them. How would they react or respond if that happened to them? Take the power back is what I get from that one. Just hold on to your personal power. Stand tall, stand strong, and trust yourself. Yes. And then the virtual swear jar. I love that too, though, because what you've done in explaining this photo beautifully is to remind people that every single experience we have, good, bad, or otherwise, is an opportunity to learn and grow from.
Yes, it is. It is.
Even if it's to learn what not to do.
Yes. That's a learning that I have when I reflected on my childhood. Yeah, it's how I would not treat my children. And I don't.
Yeah, I must admit I've done that a lot myself in parenting. I've screwed up a few times here and there, but one thing I do very well is apologise, and that never happened in my childhood. So
there you go.
I'm
so you got feedback.
Yeah.
You got feedback.
I'm quick to come back and say, hey, I was really out of line. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
But we're human. We're here to have a human experience.
Correct.
And we need to just make that the very best one we can.
Yeah. Yeah, we can make mistakes. And I had a discussion with one business owner, and it was very, very interesting and colorful man. But he was saying, if you make a mistake, that's okay. If you make the same mistake again, that's stupid. But if you make that same mistake a third time again, that's excessively stupid.
Yeah. But we're very blessed in this lifetime of ours to not only have our parents to pull from and those around us, but coaches. Yes. We're surrounded by so many people that have the experiences to help everyone through almost anything these days. If someone's resonating with your messages, Bodo, where will they find you?
They can just send me an email straight away at bodo.frost@projectreboot.com.au. I've got my little logo here.
You have to. Not that our audio listeners can see that, but
that's right. Yeah. we've got our video and I mixed it up with audio. That's all right.
So good.
Um,
So the show notes, I'll have the links down in the show notes for
perfect.
everyone
That's
as well.
good. And this is something that everybody should consider as well. What is your true calling in this life? Yeah.
What are you here for?
Are you destined to do a 9-to-5 public servant job? No, not me. Let's say.
No. I realize
It's what I've done for the last 2 years, and it's like, okay, no, not anymore.
Enough time. Now, you also have a very generous offer that people can find on your website. Is that right?
That's absolutely right. So it comprises of 3 items, limited to the first 100 people. You'll get for free an instant action plan, how to create a work-life balance by beating procrastination.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, yes. When people procrastinate a lot, they avoid doing things. And why is that? Because that's what I said, no plan and all these things. The other thing is a free daily journal that you can print out and then capture your emotions, your thinkings, and plan your days.
Nice.
And the other one is a voucher for a course that I am preparing right now. This is on how to coach and lead a team successfully to become a high-performing team. So it's about leadership and getting the emotions under control and how to react to certain situations.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it's a voucher for a course, and it's a 50% discount for the course itself.
Wow. So please check into the show notes. Thank you. That's a very, very generous offer.
Oh,
and
I just want to help, and that's it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Well, Bodo, thank you for your time today, and thank you for all the people you serve and will in the future.
Thank you for having me, and I'm thankful that I could spend some time with you to have a wonderful discussion. I got a lot out of it as well.
I'm glad. I knew we would just flow into the conversation, similar and like minds. Always have interesting conversations.
Yes, yeah, it's wonderful. It's when the minds are alike, you forget about time.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Time doesn't matter.
No. So to our listeners, thank you for sharing a slice of your life with us. And we'd love to remind you that if your life's not where you'd like it to be, you don't have to do this alone. We're here to help. Reach out, look around you. A new beginning, a new journey, a new life begins with a single step. In this case, it's a single click of a mouse. You can connect with Bodo, look down into the show notes. You can also find me, Michelle Reinhardt, inside our community at Entrepreneurs Globally Unite. You can call us. We're real, we're humans, we're here to help. And from us, that's it for this week. Shine bright, superstars, because that is why you're here. Once again, Bodo, thank you for your time. Goodbye, listeners. Have an amazing week.
Thank you very much. Goodbye. And hear us again and see us again.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.